Me to
so you
do
wouldn't
that.
want David Beckham's life then?
No, no, I'm quite happy that I can play my snooker and I can go and see my kids when I want. I can go and see my missus when I want, and they're the people that no amount of money can give me what that gives me.
You're trying not to be huge, but you are, aren't you? You know.
Yeah, and I kind of, in a way, I got to a stage where these people, every time like people would say to me, you should be doing more off the table, I go, okay, well, I'd listen to them, and then they'd say, well, we've got to change the perception of the public of you, and I went, well, I'm not a bad fella. I said, they've decided to write what they have, and people read into it. I ain't going to waste my time and energy. I'm quite content with what I'm doing.
Your dad is going to come out of jail very soon, really, and I imagine he's going to be a big influence on his grandson as well.
That's a new project for him. The kids come along at the right time. He comes out at the right time. You know, we can do it together. He's done a good job with me, I think, you know, mentally, and get me to think in a certain way, and just that ability to have no boundaries. You know, he's the most positive guy in a way. He made me believe that there was no boundaries, and I still believe that when I play snooker. That's why I go for the shots that people think may be risky, but I believe that it's a winner. Goes in, game over. You know, and I've always had that mentality.
So is he excited watching you, though?
He loves the snooker, and like every time I play, he says it's like a visit for me. You know, every time I see you on the telly, it's like a visit for me. So
he gave up smoking to buy himself a TV, didn't he?
Yeah, he's mental. Honestly, he's got a, you know, that's the way he does things. You know, he's just sort of like puts your mind to it, and that's what he done. He's like to give up me smoking just so I can have my telly. So.
You're going to spend a weekend with him very soon because he's getting ready to come out.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like, having that quality time with your dad again?
At first it was like, yeah, great, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like coming really near, and I'm thinking, well, how's it going to be? Because my last memories was driving down the motorway, going to a snooker school when I was 15, in a car with my dad, who was out on bail, and still didn't know whether he was going to go away or not, and that's my last memory of him when I was 15. So it's as if 18 years, 17 years have gone. I have no memories other than just a telephone and a visit every 6 weeks or every 2 months. So you can't make up for that. It's sort of like it's going to be a different relationship. I'm now 33. I'm now got 2 kids. I've had my career. You know, I don't think my dad's going to come in and tell me you must go out and do a run because you haven't been winning the snooker tournaments. I don't think that relationship's going to be there anymore. It's now going to be, you know, let's just enjoy the grandchildren. I don't know, it's so hard because he's such a strong character.
Are you nervous at all about it, or is it all excitement?
I was a bit nervous, I must admit. I get a bit nervous thinking that, you know, but I'm also confident that it's going to be alright, because my dad is also the type of person that he's never wanted anything from me or anybody. He's been such a proud man and always done things his way, that he doesn't want nothing from me other than just, you know, that I'm his son.
With your dad out and life kind of seemingly at the moment very good, and you in a good place, you can go on to achieve those things. Other people have said that you can. You know, you can win 6 world titles.
I can't win 7, 8 world titles. I've won 3 now. If I win another one, great. If I win another 2, I'll be ecstatic. You kind of have to know where you're at.
Why can't you?
I don't feel like I have the drive. I don't feel like I have the passion that it takes to be a Schumacher, a Hendry, a Phil Taylor. I'm not that character. I'm not that person that, even if it's not going well, I'm going to go and do the 6 hours a day. I'm not going to be a slave to it. I don't even think I'll be playing 5 years, let alone win another 5 world titles. You know, and I'll leave a little legacy of, like, you know, I've done it my way, if you like, you know. Wasn't the conventional way, wasted the talent might have been, but I come out of it and I'm intact. I don't want to be like a miserable man when I'm 45 and think, well, what was it all about? It's here and now that's important.
Do you ever wish that your genius, your brilliance had been in another sport?
Yeah. I'd love it with Federer or Tiger. Oh.
Yeah, but what do you love about them? Because they've just dominated a sport in which you could.
Yeah, but it's the sport, isn't it? It's like, you know, tennis is like a I think snooker's a very hard game where you're sitting there, you have to sit in your chair and you have to be with yourself and be with your mind, whereas at tennis it's a reaction sport. You're in control of what you do, but snooker's not that type of game. It's like you've got to sit there and you've got to be a gentleman, you've got to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to fell forward and miss, and he'll have another 10 attempts, and like, do people really want to watch it? It's like, come on.
So little Ronnie Jr., He isn't going to be taken to a snooker table, is he?
Well, I said to Stephen Hendry, he said, my boy's playing snooker. I went, well, I said, you can't let that happen, can you? He went, I know. He says, I've tried him with tennis, I've tried him with golf. He said, but he loves snooker. I'm like, oh, please don't happen to me. I feel that word don't exist, snooker. I'll start getting golf ornaments around house and tennis ornaments. I was a tennis player.
They must see the paraphernalia of your life.
I'll get rid of it. I will get rid of it all. I'll say it didn't happen. It don't exist that sport. Trust me. No.
Just a joy to spend time with, you know, because he's just so well thought out, the things that he kind of tells you and how he explains life, Dennis. But the one thing that struck me straight away, the fact that he thinks he's underachieved.
Yeah.
Do you think he's underachieved?
Slightly, possibly. I would agree with him there. But it's great to see him in that frame of mind. If he was to be like that all the time and take that to the tournaments, he'd be unbeatable. He does have another side sometimes when things are not quite going so well for him, and you can physically see him. I'm sitting in the commentary box there watching him, and I know that he's losing it a little bit, and he's given the advantage to his opponent, and he loses his focus. But when he's in that frame of mind
so
there...
why can't he go on then and win 7 world titles?
I think he can. I mean, he's 33 years of age. If he wanted to pack the game up when he's 40, I don't think Ronnie'll still be around 5 years' time. But 7 years, I think he can win another 3 world titles, possibly 4. He might even be able to equal Stephen Hendry's, possibly beat it, because he is a genius. He's the best player we've ever seen in the game.
Undoubtedly, his dad coming out is going to be a huge thing for him. It's either going to help or hinder. You suspect the way he talks about his dad, it can only help, can't it?
His face lights up like, Gabby, you know, you've got a couple of babies. When when Kenny walks in the room and your baby hears his voice, they go like that, don't they? That's what and he's a grown man, 34. His face just blossoms. I think the dad getting out late this year or early next year is good. If his dad had got out 4, 5, 6 years ago, when he was struggling with the 3Ds, the depression, the drugs and the drink, and he was in some dark and lonely places. He talked about that, you know, in the film there, throughout the film. It was the motif that was weaved in that film, how low and just those places he's been. If his dad had got out 5 or 6 years ago, I think it would have been trouble. I think it's going to be an absolute celebration. And I agree with Dennis. I think if his mind's as clear as it looks like it is there, and if his dad's such a great influence, he could have 10 great years. He's in a great place at the moment.
And Dennis, it's you know, we meet so many amazing people through this show, but put in perspective for us just how good Ronnie is. He's not just good on his day, is he? I mean, this guy in China, he's a household name, isn't he?
I would say in China, there's only David Beckham's a bigger name in China. That's how big a star he is out there. And this business about, you know, when he started using his left hand, it was against Alain Robidoux, a lovely fella, but he wasn't being disrespectful. People didn't realise how good he was. And he talked about his left hand being his mistress. Well, I played him once, and his mistress cleared the table with a 135 break, every shot played with his left hand in an exhibition.
Is genius too strong a word?
No, he's the only player I would ever use the word genius about. Jimmy White, natural player, Alex Higgins, this fella's on a different level.
I found it really interesting, Steve, his talk about, you know, what sitting in the chair does to him, because it's such an unusual sport, snooker, in that respect, and it's why he finds this love-hate relationship so difficult to kind of balance almost.
Well, he summed it up perfectly. He said, because you can't get out there and change it. Once you sit down, you've made a mistake. You're in that chair and you're just sinking slowly and slowly. And I'd never thought about it, but that must be hell.
That's the battle, isn't it? Keeping him sane in those moments.
Well, listen, like Steve Davis in the 80s, you had to be so positive when you weren't at the table, because he just dominated, and that's it. It's how you focus yourself when you're not at the table.
Thank you very much, guys, for the moment, and good luck, of course, to Ronnie as well in the UK Championship. You can see that from Saturday on BBC 1, 2 and the Red Button. Well, it's nearly time for Sports Personality.